wanna get away, but I could use some company. If you're alone like me, we could go on a trip. Girl, I wanna see the sun, dive into the deep ocean, dance with you all night long, move as you swing your hips. Let's take a break from the stress and the hate.
Hey, everyone. Welcome to Mindset Monday. I am super excited. My name is Ilyasa Simpson, aka Coach Illy, and we are here tonight to talk about it. So what's Mindset Mondays? Mindset Mondays is about the charge room, and the charge room is about showing you how to strategize to cope in everyday stresses. Every day is not a good day. Some days are good days, some days are bad days, some days are high days, some days are low days. But whatever day it is, we are here to show you how to get through it, because depression is not the answer, and we are here to stamp out depression. So tonight, one of the key high point topics that buzz around in our lives is about dating. Whether you're with somebody, whether you're not, dating is always a buzzword, y'all. It's always a buzzword. So tonight, we're not here to talk about just dating. It's that age that comes with dating. So as we go through life and life happens, right? Because life is going to happen, because life be lifing, right? Life be lifing. So dating in your 50s. Last week I talked about dating in your 40s. Like, that's coming around. But when you get to your 50s, yo, it's a whole new ball game. So 50 and over, I tell you this. It's wonderful. It's rewarding to some. But then there's to others, it could be a total nightmare. One thing about dating in your 50s, you because we've been through life and life been life, and we know what we want. We know what we want. We know what we want because we know ourselves. We have learned ourselves. So when we talked about dating in your 40s, is you sometimes you may be going through a divorce on your way in or on your way out. So you kind of confused. You're a little rattled and you don't really know. But sometimes when you get to your 50s and that divorce is over, you know what you want. So as y'all are coming in, I want you to come in and share, because we're talking about dating. Again, that's a buzzword. I want you to come in and share what we're talking about, because this will be information and tips for everyone. So as we're lifing and we know what we want, we also know what we don't want. But this is the piece that you have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with yourself, honest about how you feel, honest about how you're thinking, honest about not carrying your emotional baggage, giving it up for somebody because you done went through 5 divorces and you tired of being sick and tired and you just want somebody to pick you up and take you to the next millennium. Check this out. This is the part where you got to stand up for yourself. You have to stand up for yourself and fight for yourself. You have to fight for what you believe in your heart. And this is the part also where you recognize that you are not being someone that you don't want someone to be to you. Okay? So tonight, I have a special guest. I have a special guest with me, and it's my brother, y'all. It's my brother. His name is Gary, and we was just so happened to be talking on the phone last week, and we was talking about dating, and we was talking about the ups and downs, the war stories. He was talking about women, and I was talking about men, how we met them online and not online, how some people are just taking us topsy-turvy, but we thought, let's bring it to the book and talk about it, right? Because I know we're not the only one that's going through this thing, because in our singleness, right? And our singleness, again, as we know who we are, we can share some things. Because when you marry, certain things you ain't gonna share. But when you're in your singleness, you're gonna share some things. So I'm gonna bring on my brother Gary, and we're gonna talk the talk for you. So here we go, brother Gary. Let me get you on here. Hey, brother Gary.
Hey, hello.
How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to Mindset Monday in the Charge Room. I want to thank you for coming on tonight and thank you for being amazing as you are. And I just want to let you know, I just so love you so much. And I thank you for being a wonderful brother to me because you just really bring it home to me sometimes. Really all the time. So, but let's get to the business. Let's talk about dating. So with dating and dating in your 50s, how can you compare it to dating in your 30s?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on your show.
Okay.
I appreciate it. You look so lovely. You're doing a wonderful job. And
Thank
this is
you.
my first interview, so I am so nervous and excited at the same time. So hopefully I'll do my part. However, dating in your 40 and your 30s is different as far as a male goes because you're out there, you're young, you're single, and your mind is just a little different. You're not really looking to settle down. Well, I wasn't looking, my personal experience, I wasn't looking to settle down. I was just really looking to be out having fun and really pursuing my goals. And
Mm-hmm.
in that, I were meeting different people, but never really focused on um, having a partner.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, I did get married in my 30s. In my middle 30s, I did get married and divorced really quickly because I was not ready to be married. I really wanted to go into business for myself. So that's kind of why my marriage did fail. But however, now as I've been divorced and I've been in business and I'm older and I'm older than 50, a little older than 50. We won't say all that, but a little over 50. But being over 50 and trying to date is very, very challenging. You're meeting women who are in their 50s or even in their 60s who are kind of stuck in their ways. They really know what they want and they really not messing around. They're not playing any games. So, with saying that, I'm trying to embrace that I am 50 and I am dating older women that are focused. So for me, it's just trying to find the right person. And when you're talking to people who are over 50, especially sisters, they're very smart, very intelligent, but very kind of stuck in their own ways, and they're kind of sizing you up. They're not. They have a wall up. They're not really trying to let you in to penetrate to see how far you can get. So some of my experiences have been semi disasters. I've jumped into relationships too quick. They haven't ended up well. So here I am. So the advice that you're giving in the show and the platform is definitely very, very helpful.
Okay,
However,
so with that being said, when we're dating, and like I said, when we're dating in our 50s, we get to a place where we know better. So when we know better, we have to do better. But with also with that, you have to have patience because just like you said, when you get to this age, people know what they want and they have walls up because they've been hurt before. And just like you just said, like, okay, so they have these walls up and they're not playing around. Like, so what stance do you take when, because you said it had a disastrous ending? Like, how could it be for it not to be disastrous? Like, what's a healthy way of approaching a woman in her 50s and you getting what you want out of the deal too? Because wouldn't it be that you would want the same thing?
I, I agree. I would want the same thing, but in my in my experience, one thing I have not practiced is patience. I'm really moving quick. I'm not really thinking things through. I'm kind of jumping to the next step when I really need to be patient to really find out really what a person's about and really try to uh, appreciate them or their mind or see where they're coming from. And I'm kind of leapfrogging. I'm going from first base to third base without going around second. I really need, and what's really important, what you said is the key is patience. You have to demonstrate more patience in dating when you're older. I think when you're younger, you just kind of jump into stuff and it goes where it goes. But when you're older, it's really, really difficult. And everybody's really picky. Everybody's waiting for the knight in shining armor to come through and rescue you or save you. Or the woman is always looking for somebody who's stable and has, you know, is either he's working or he has a great job, or is he in business for himself? Or if I hook up with this brother, do I have some status coming along with it? And the problem with a lot of brothers who are not established, the sister is not dating down. They're not dating down. They're going to date up.
Right.
So what happens is the brothers who don't have themselves together, it gives the woman, the sister, less options. So here, that's where we are now. There's less options out there. So online dating is a plus. It opens up an opportunity to meet more people. But when you're meeting more people online, you really don't. It's really kind of also because you have to exercise even more patience because they're online. First of all, there's a barrier there. You don't, if you're talking to somebody and I'm in Jersey, you're talking to somebody in New York or Connecticut. Before you get a chance to meet that person, there's going to be several conversations over the phone before you can really hook up with them, to be with them, to see if you're likable. And when you meet somebody online, the next part is you want to see the physical. In the physical, sometimes what you see is not exactly what you get.
This is true. There's a lot of catfishing going on, a lot of catfishing. But not only that, I like online dating because I use it as a strategic tool to communicate better, right? Because sometimes I get in a space where I don't know exactly what I want to say because online dating, it comes in categories, right? So the categories is like if you just chatting with someone or you want a short-term relationship, just like a friend, or if you want a long-term relationship, or if you want to get married. My experience with it, there may be people that so desperate or vulnerable, they'll pick all the categories. And then when you meet them, you kind of confused of what they want. So it's like, well, I thought you just wanted this because I don't want that. I want this. Like, and then it becomes like a little bit confusing. Then you immediately like cut the person off. Like, okay, let me check you off my list because you're like next. So, but everyone has their reasons for being on online dating. I just look at it as another platform for a busy person because I'm a busy person. And I don't, and because of COVID, my job has me home all the time. Mm-hmm. I don't go out as much as I used to. So to use it as a platform to date, I think it's convenient. And you could chat as long as you want to. You can go back and forth as long as you want to. But the key word is the patience part. Do you have patience? Because everyone is not hopping on there, just waiting for the next person to just be texting back and forth. Right. So I always opt to like, look, just call me because I'm not doing this texting because I'm old school. I don't like texting. I need you to pick up the phone and call me. But I'm also the type of person, like, I know if a man likes you, they coming for you. I'm not with like this text thing where everyone wants to text a conversation. Don't text me a conversation. Pick up the phone and call me. I want to hear your voice.
My experience with online dating, I'm going to talk for a little while, but I really want to see you. I want to see the physical, and I want to see if we have a connection. It's hard to make a connection over the phone, but when you meet somebody in person, it's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had a little success in online dating. I just think I just got a little. I'm not even going to say bored. I'm just moving around too quick. I really need to like just relax and trying to let things like mature, and that's where my patience needs to come in. But online dating is a plus. It gives you a lot of options. I mean, if you don't like somebody, you could just politely say nothing.
Right.
One thing about online, you don't even have to respond.
Right.
You could just go on to the next person, and the
Swipe
other
left.
person is the same
Swipe
way.
left.
Right. Swipe left. A lot of people have swiped me left also.
Like swipe left.
But
So have you ever experienced people bringing a lot of baggage from their past relationships, whether it be online dating or whether you meet them, publicly?
well, one thing about meeting people, they're not going to disclose everything to you, but when you start dating for a couple of dates, the baggage comes out, or their mental proudness comes out. You really get to see what their person's really about. Some things could be turn out very well, and some things could end in disaster. I mean, I'm more on the disaster end. I mean, if I would be brutally honest, I mean, I've had a lot of disasters. I'm not discouraged. I'm not going to say I'm going to stop dating, but I mean, it makes you really realize that, I mean, there are so many single people out here and everybody's looking. All these websites, the single websites are packed with millions of people, and all these sites are making money. So, I mean, the sites are doing what they're supposed to do, but it's just a matter of pot luck. You can meet somebody online, or you can meet somebody in the supermarket.
Right.
The person online could be crazy. The person in the supermarket could be crazy.
This is true.
You never know. At this stage in life, is really, really pot luck. But one thing that is good with so many events now going on, I mean, you try to put yourself in a position to date. So you're going to different functions. You're going to the governor's ball. You're going to a lot of Black affairs, parties, and I say for people that are trying to date over 50, you kind of have to make yourself available mentally.
Right.
Like if somebody approaches you, you got to make yourself available, at least open up a door where you're friendly, where the door is not closed. There's a lot of people, men and women, the door, anything could just turn you off. Oh, I don't like her hair. Her hair's too short. She's a little too lumpy. Her feet's too big. His feet's too big. I don't like the car she drives. I think the older we get, the more pressure we put on ourselves for people to be perfect. And there's nobody out there perfect.
Right.
Nobody's perfect. And we are looking for, I think the older you get, the more perfection you're looking for. I think we need to not lower our standards, but maybe just be relax. A little more. Yeah. Maybe we need to just relax a little more, especially with our own people. We like, oh, that brother ain't that, or that sister ain't that. Where, at that age, everybody I think has been through a lot, not unless you grew up in a cave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think we just need to be more open to each other. And as Black people, we have a problem with that. That's,
to operate out of love.
Yeah.
It's so many people do not operate out of love. They operate out of ego. They operate out of pride. They operate. They want to have a certain standard when they don't even have standards themselves. And just like you said, they openly, verbally say they want something, but they're closed minded and closed hearted with everything else. So it's like you want somebody to come to you, but you got a brick wall, a steel wall, barbed wire, and bubble
The
wrap
man
that's
face,
between you and me,
right?
that we can't even get through the opening gate. Like, well, where are you? Right? Like, I see you waving and saying I'm here, but I can't get in. Um, so it's important for people to understand that if you want something, you have to change, because it's not necessarily everyone else. Like, you can have a bad experience, but there's good experiences out there too, right? But because we are at an age,
I agree.
we've been through so much, but there's also the part that other people's been through a lot of things too, and you have to take that into consideration, that just like how you said, we're not perfect. And you can't expect the other person to be perfect. You can't sit there and have a list of 20 things and say they must mean every single thing on there. Otherwise, I'm not talking to you. You have to give a little so you can get something. So, can you see me? Can you hear me? Am I stuck? You're frozen. Can you hear me, Gary?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So, it's just a lot of times where we want this perfect person when we are not perfect ourselves. And we have to relax in that mindset and say, okay, let me breathe a little bit, because maybe I can get a person that can breathe too.
Hmm.
And a lot of people, and I think the biggest thing, it just doesn't come just when the fact, like, after a few dates. Sometimes we carry it in our aura, the weight of the baggage, because some people's energy is just so heavy that you just can't talk to them. I've had that experience, where I meet somebody and their energy is just so heavy. I'm like, hey, how you doing? And after that, how you doing? It's like, okay, let me go get me a cup of tea and go to the bathroom, because have a nice
I
day.
don't know more. I've I've come across a couple of people who they've just they've been so traumatized. They've been in so many bad relationships that it just implodes on to the current relationship or the current conversation. And
Hmm.
I really think, I mean, I think we all need therapy, but there's nothing wrong with going to get a little a class,
Right,
uh, sit on somebody's couch for maybe a couple of weeks,
right,
just to figure stuff out. Because
right,
even at 30, 40, 50, 60, there's still stuff that we're dealing with from a long time ago that's hurting our relationships. Our
right. 8, 12, and 15.
right, right, hurting our
Hmm.
relationships. Not only trying to find a mate, even with our current family. I mean, that's a whole nother topic.
Right.
You might have me on for that next week. We'll call that Family Matters.
Right.
But I think we just all have so many issues, and I am very hopeful, and I'm hopeful every day. I don't pray for a relationship every day, but I'm hopeful that you always hopeful that you'll meet that person that you can, you know, be cool with. You want to come home to somebody,
Right.
you want to call somebody up. Oh, meet me at the restaurant. We're going out to dinner, and when you are not with a person or dating or have a husband as you get older, that's stressful in itself because
Hmm.
everybody needs somebody. And women who say I don't need nobody or men who say I don't need nobody, they're lying. That's not true.
I said that the other day. People
No.
need people. People need
Yes.
people just to survive. Just to
Some company,
survive.
somebody to talk to. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so
Mm-hmm.
we have to get out of that mindset where I really don't need anybody. You
Right.
know, Instagram and Facebook, they're not helping either. I mean, they're great platforms, but you know, you're chasing brothers are chasing women who are on the gram who they'll never get. You'll never get that sister. I mean, but that's the illusion that we're looking for, and
Mm-hmm.
it's going to happen. Maybe for some, but it's just an illusion. That's not. It's reality, but it's not reality.
Right.
So that's another conversation. However, I'm really hopeful. There are great people out there. You know, I'm looking forward to meeting great people. And if you meet great people, whether it materializes into something or not, at least you met somebody else, you know.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you want to get hooked up. And whoever says that they don't, it's not true. You want to be
Right.
hooked up. You know,
Right. Right.
dating, you want to hold hands, you want to cook for somebody, you know, all that good stuff that,
Right.
you know, that sexual stuff. You want to be able to do that without coming off as being like, I really don't need anybody. Because and we all need somebody.
Yes. I 100% agree. I'm just a hopeless romantic. I'm a super hopeless romantic, and I believe in love. And I love love, and I love everything about love. And I am not ever giving up on love because I know one day I'm going to meet somebody as well, and because I know I'm the full package. That's a given hands down. I'm a full package, and I'm willing to wait, but I know my worth, and I know my value, and I know what I bring to the table. So until then, I'm not selling my soul to the enemy or the devil. I'm keeping me to be upright because first of all, you got to be healthy. We didn't get this old. I didn't get this old to be dating on a cane. Sorry.
Exactly. Or in a wheelchair.
Listen, or wheelchair. I need to travel the world because that's what I love to do. That's what makes me happy. I need to do bikinis and beaches. That's what I love to do. So I have to take again. It's, if I want change, I need to change. So I have to make me be who I want to be when I want to be wifed and husband up. Because that's where my mindset is going. That's where my vision is. So I again, it's all about how you show up, how you want to be, but don't expect someone to be with you when you are not giving it up like you quote unquote want it on your list. You got to be the list. If you
Right.
got a list for somebody else, right? Oh,
You
they
might
got to be this, they got to be that. You need to be the list,
right.
right?
That's the
So,
point.
right, that's that part.
Right.
I'm the list, baby, because it's all I'm on everything I want on my list for him. I am that list for him. You know what I'm saying? And if who am I to try to have a list and I ain't it? So it's what you want to bring to the table. Because I'm like, you can you and people and I say to people that would you date you? Marry you? And if you can't look in the mirror and say yes, why should somebody else say yes to you? And I think that's just real talk. Like, how dare you have a list? You want somebody to have all this and you ain't got nothing. What are you bringing to the table? So I just believe in dating. I believe in love. I believe in marriage. I believe in commitment. I believe in forever. I want 100 forevers. But I know my worth and I know my value, and I'm gonna wait for my forevers. But in the meantime, I'm living life. I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna
Right.
live. I'm not gonna sit home. No, I'm going out. I'm going to travel. I'm gonna continue whatever vision I have, whatever vision God gives me, whatever dreams I've had and goals I have. I'm going for them. I'm shooting for the stars because I just feel that life is about purpose and living out your purpose. All the compatibility of a partner comes within that. Um, And it's about keeping going and not letting anybody's anything get in your way because you just a bump on a log because you don't get what you want and you want to pout and pitter like a little baby. Like, grow up and relax. Have patience with yourself and have patience with your own life. But thank you so much for your dating input today. And I'm going to close us out now and I'm going to talk to you in a minute. So I'm putting you backstage. Thank you, everyone, for stopping by tonight at Mindset Monday. I hope our show of dating in your 50s helped you out. But definitely, the tips are just have patience with yourself. Be about your business, be your list. If you have a list for somebody and you have standards for somebody, make sure you are that list and make sure you are the standard. Don't expect something from other people when you are not that of yourself. Life is about living. Don't sit on the sidelines. You are worth so much more. Yes, you are. You're worth so much more. So I will see you next week on Mindset Monday. Like us on Facebook, The Charge Room. Follow us on Instagram, The Charge Room, and subscribe to us on YouTube, The Charge Room. So make sure you share this show, y'all. Make sure you share this show. And I'll see y'all next Monday. You have a wonderful, 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 wonderful night.